Today we're going to be watching the endgames and highlights from Grand Finals of FNCS Day 2.
So let's not waste any time. Let's see what Game 1 has for us.
Like I said, if there's a person that I'm really rooting for that I think deserves so much more respect and attention from the community, it's actually Man City's Threats. He's been on the team for a long time. He's put in the work. He shows up when it matters during qualifier days, and he's a man who tries to take advantage of the opportunity. Bugha is here, though, putting up the hits, putting up the numbers, actually contributing the most damage in that battle there. And this is a great way to kick it off. Again, they need these points and get their material count back. It's looking pretty tough. Epic Whale's out, Clix is by himself and now completely finished there.
Backside of the zone.
Yeah, they have that big breacher in hand. Bugha's in the end game, okay. Putting up the numbers right now. Tries to cut off Clarity, but the shot comes from behind. Their Tart was invaded on, loses threats in the process. Bugha has to hold this one out. The zone's right behind them. Just in time for the Stamper to come through and the Siphon as well, but no, wasn't quick enough to get to the material there. He gets taken out here. Par's now solo targeted. The zone bounces north. He falls as well. Yamzo and Rise are one of the few that are left alive here as a duo that can still do something.
Yep, everybody's dropping like flies. Meanwhile, Yamzo and Rise are just doing the best that they can to stagger themselves back. The shots are continuing to fire. Yamzo's not getting greedy, but he drops at the perfect time. Down goes Flutto, but down goes Rise as well. But Yamzo did enough to find that med miss. Now he has a little bit more time as a luxury.
Let's see it. He's going ahead, sit here. Buys him a little bit of an opportunity right now. Top 5 is just an elimination away, but Cooper's in his zone. No, both of them know that one another on the other side. Of course, those visual sound effects start to give away that information, but Yamzo's out. He has to make his way. He has to go for the mad dash here. Does start to run out a little bit of stamina. 180 on the player behind him.
Wow.
Hits 2 great tags, but not enough to stay in the game. Meanwhile, Cooper still alive, by the way, with the med miss there. He's on to his last one. This is desperate opportunities now. Clarity G is hurt up top, but so are the 2 players below. All he has to do is hit a massive tag, but no, the low ground comes out. It's Paper, it's Muzz from nowhere injecting themselves into the conversation. Almost there at the top.
They had a solid game, but like these are the little gaps that are going to start to close.
Yep.
We saw they were about 90 points ahead of everybody else that was in second, or the team in second. Now they're only about 90 points ahead of like 3 or 4 different teams, and Bugha and Threats just closed that gap a little.
A lot of these other teams are also beginning to heat up, and this is what we were talking about. Day 2 is a whole different beast.
That's right. Right now, Threats gets dropped there on the rotate. Unfortunately, faces the wrath of the server. He's stuck in a difficult position. Bugha can't do anything either here. The zone's just doing too much. It's super unfortunate.
You heard that? That was Khanada just screaming, yes, to regain that lead that they just once had. And it's still 12 teams that need to go down before those placement points get in. So I'm not saying by any means it's going to be an easy day for Khanada Nagers.
Yeah, this is tough right now.
They're still picking up eliminations.
Up to 3 elims now.
Yep, last and long as well. I even see Epic Well picking up the pace, trying to have a much better day. Historically, a day 2 team as well. As Khanada just bull rushing towards the front side of the zone, going for height as well. He knows this one's pulling towards a little bit of elevation. He's trying to prepare for it. That way, he doesn't have to make a mad dash towards the end. Hound and Aiden, we knew they had high ground, but this is where the contest is going to come in. One comes tumbling down. Khanada trying to go for the back-to-back, using all of his resources, and they've taken it. Khanada and Agers are once again the kings of the high ground.
The entire lobby chopped down in half. Meanwhile, Khanada and Agers have a roadway, a pathway directly to the end game here, and it's looking like clear skies here, Jacob.
Yeah, it's definitely theirs for the taking, and they take it just like that. Full control over the game, and they earned it as well.
Getting very, very close right now. 4 more games of Fortnite ahead of us. We've had a crazy competition already unfold. A lot of adjustments happening as well as we are starting to look to the future here. I mean, some are out of the race completely, I'm assuming.
Yep.
And they jump in as well. Meanwhile, Clix is still alive here, solo in the end here, trying to get his moments, trying to find his chance here to make a big play. Already 2 elims, great game for him, but he's gonna need a little bit more. He doesn't have much material. This is where he thrives best here.
I have a feeling of nostalgia watching Clutch Our Clix trying to clutch up as a solo. Last of the splash is used. This is his chance to try to get a flank onto somebody. He's seeing Source, just trying to build through. He's trying to pick and choose his movements wisely here to try to go ahead and see who he's going to catch off guard. And he's not getting greedy. He's not just going on to that first opponent, but gets stuck. Maybe he should have been a little shorter.
Still a good game, though. Top 10 there. Source finds him out. Here's Bugha. Another one. 7 eliminations. This is bringing them up to 8, actually. Add some more to it. Meanwhile, on high ground, Batman, Bugha is going for it here. They have control of things, but only 7 builds in his inventory. A little bit more to bounce back, so they will have some HP to work with, and luckily the zone starts to favor them, so that's going to be all right. It's still a top 10 situation. A lot of teams lurking in the wins here.
2 men miss on Chubbs. Bugha goes down. Threat's doing what he can to try to make up for it. Into the final 6 we go, and everything comes tumbling down. That was so close. They didn't have any builds to try to hold on. That fall damage would have been disastrous. Yuumi gets spotted out, but another miss by Batman. Bugha is going to allow him to live, to fight another tail. Bucke's going in, and Bucke takes out yet another player as they have 7 eliminations and quickly climbing up the leaderboard.
Such a wild card right here. They've played so well here onto day 2, seemingly finding their stride, going back to the Rift Islands, right? Things are just coming together. If they would have had an even slightly better day 1, I mean, who knows where they could be in the standings overall, but they're starting to really rise to the occasion right now. This game right here could be the one that puts them closer and closer to that top 10 in the finals, and they find another elimination here. Okus, when it matters most. Now, it is, of course, a 2v1, but hey, our high ground team doesn't have mass. They can barely even get up and over these builds here. Okus has the med miss, so it's going to come down to it. He might actually win right now if the high ground team doesn't come down and do something about it, but instead he goes up, he goes for the fight, and Okus takes matters into his own hands. The Mega Brain play uses the med miss, slips around, goes up, and then takes the fight.
Is how this is all starting to shape up. Let's take a look together. Aegis and Khanada show what was once 120 points once again is dwindling. It's shrinking. It is changing. The landscape we are seeing evolve before our very eyes. Bugha and Threats have much to say about the lead that Aegis and Khanada have built up, but still, that is a hefty lead. It is game number 10. We are now nearing the end of the competition. It's do or die time, but it's also game time.
A little bit more freedom for himself as Clix and Epicwell. They're trying to make that side rotation on the mountain, so all those players that are above them, they're not going to be able to look down. This is almost like a free rotation, but we lose Rise. We lose Rise along the way. Yamso's trying to make a play. He doesn't have builds. He finds Miro as a solo. Clix and Epicwell even shooting shots in that direction, but Yamso just stands tall before getting taken down by Clix and Epicwell. Now it's up to Threats. We talk about the top of the leaderboard. It's his chance to shine.
But he's getting all the placements here. Can he find some eliminations? That's where the big points are going to start to rack things up. Here it is. It's a one opportunity. Finds it right there. And a little bit of material here left behind. He doubles back here. Gets the finish in the zone. Swings around the outskirts. He's just playing mind games with the opponent on low. But he looks up. Gets punished now. Down to just a couple builds here. This is Threat's opportunity here for a top 5. One big tag. He gets the zone tick. And almost an extra one there on the outskirts.
Wow.
It's Acorn and Cold who are on the low running things up.
One duo left to kind of challenge Poyo and Sphinx. And that's a team that's already claimed a major championship this season already. Acorn and Cold. Pump's doing what he can as a solo, trying to pick up those placements, but he gets targeted towards the outside of the zone. Acorn is next. He's going to fall. It's up to Cold. He has to be able to do Cold things, but the Titans at top of the mountain, Sphinx, Poyo, they're playing this one almost perfectly, and they have a slurp juice as well. Cold becomes a target. The focus is there. Poyo's not backing down. He takes down all the shield as well. Cold is doing what he can, but it's not enough for Poyo and Sphinx to rise and take the game.
What happens as things start to unfold? We all know you need a little bit of luck and a whole lot of skill to make it all come together here in an FNCS Grand Finals lobby where every one of your competitors to your left and to your rights are extremely good.
Threats and Bugha, one of the only players that could catch up to Khanada, but they need Khanada to fall here. Top 15. The more he lasts, the more points he's going to pick up.
That's found Clix right there on the backside of the zone. Excellent job. The quick turn and burn, but Khanada's still alive here. He's going to be able to get a heal off. He's got no material. He has to take the fight. Down he goes, outside the top 10. Okay, there's runway here, but Threats has to stay alive. He finds another one here. It's Jackson and the full finish. And the gap is closing now as Threats and Bugha are taking every opportunity they have here to close this gap.
We got Rise trying to do the same thing, but over on the other
Rise down.
side. But just like Rise, both of them, him and Bugha, are now left as solos, but at least they're giving themselves a chance to move up that leaderboard with no shield onto Bugha. The med mist is low as well. He has little builds, only a few seconds he runs out, and he runs out of time as well.
Just a couple extra points there, so it's going to close that gap just a little bit more now. As we start gearing up for the last game, it's going to be anyone's run from the two teams. Meanwhile, Bucke, Oakis still alive as well. Oakis is in this right here. 8 eliminations. We saw what he did before. The exceptional performance. Goes for the shot, misses. That's uncharacteristic. Finds another one there on the follow-up. Rapid's hurt, but doesn't see the shield crack. Little does he know that was a finishing blow there waiting to happen. It's all right. The bounce back here. Team's right above him. No one peeks. It's Acorn and Cold. Now finds one. The edit comes through, finds the elimination, and Oakis steals away a top 5 finish there in a great performance.
That is big for Bucke and Oakis to continue to hold on to the inside of that bubble. Rapid gets dropped. Our final 3 teams, all of them are full teams as well. Acorn and Cold there towards the backside and gets spotted out by Reet and Ritual. Shields getting dropped. Acorn forced down low, and now he's a solo with Acorn going down. And there's in fact only 2 players that are a full team and they have the high ground. It's Reet and it's Ritual, and they have this one in the bag as Yumi goes down to the zone and they rise up that leaderboard for sure. It's the final countdown and the clock has officially been set. There is no more time to waste because it is so limited.
This is it. This is game 12. We've already seen the standings all of a sudden take a wild turn in a way that we never thought it was going to happen before, as Bucke, Oakis have jumped up to that top 10 conversation. I heard the battle bus. I know you did as well. Let's go and do this one more time, Fortnite fam. Game 12 of the FNCS Grand Finals starts right now.
History. This is history, Grand Royale. 2nd place going into Game 10, 46 points down. With Khanada and Agers out, they probably already secured their global championship spot, but that's not what they came for. They claimed for Khanada's first FNCS championship. And it's now up to Iamzo and Rise, Bugha and Threats to see if he's gonna get it.
And anything can still happen right now. You can see this is not an easy rotate. There are so many players on top of one another. We're in the Mud Valley here. It's gonna be difficult. Bugha is down. Threats, all pressure is on you. How badly do you want your FNCS championship title? You're gonna have to work for it right now. A huge tag coming in from behind right now. Yes, he's earning placement points, but he needs elims. We're not sure.
Rise
It's
gets
gonna be
2.
enough.
Rise gets 2. Rise and Iamzo, they have this in the game right now. They still have a mountain to climb, let me tell you. There's still points they need to pick up. I feel like it's almost needed to get a victory royale here if they're looking to take first.
Iamzo was willing to put it all on the line for the medkit play right there, so he is absolutely ready to put any tactic into place. He puts that defensive wall down here. He is out of material. They're going to have to find a refresh and work together right now. 2 builds left. Rise has nothing. They need a refresh here. He's looking for it. That's an opportunity. Bucke slips away, and Bugha, Batman Bugha falls there. Another one's in front of him. Byla doesn't have much to work with.
These are big eliminations. They need these to continue to find out the leaderboard.
Cold right under him. They get inside the box. It's all or nothing. Rise is inside there. Cold hurt.
No.
Acorn's on the run here. This is it. Iamzo and Rise are absolutely mashing their way up the standings here. They're working their way through. Big tag here, and he's still going.
That's another elimination, but he doesn't get the siphon. Iamzo goes down. Rise, 20 HP and a dream.
Oh my
he needs
God.
the siphon. He gets flanked. He goes down as well. What are we witnessing here at the end game?
Absolutely incredible game right there for all of our top 3 competitors. And now we're going to have to leave it to the standings, leave it to the math here, because everyone fell so close to one another. 20, 30-point differences. This is going to be a ridiculous run for the crown at the end of the day. Muzz and Paper go down outside the top 10, or inside the top 5 here.
I prayed for a game to end just like this. I didn't know it was going to be this good. As Burt, he still has a little bit left into the tank. Bryce and Chubbs, they're one of the only teams at the top of the leaderboard left in this game. Even they have a chance to try to take home that first place, and another elimination is going to be cleaned up. They get themselves into the top 3. This is history in the making.
This is their run right now for the FNCS Global Championship position here. They're fighting their way through. There's just 2 players down low. It's Chris and Mud here. It's a 2-on-2. It's a head-to-head, but they have all the advantage here. There it is. It's going to come down to the zip line. Shotguns have to come out. They can't farm that. Chubbs can't break that. He's just thinking to himself, what can we do here? Gets up on the builds. There's a great tag. And already Bryce is in the mix here, looking to hunt him down. They want to play nice and safe, though. They go on up, and they're working with one another, keeping it nice and textbook here. No need to do anything extra. Bryce and Chubbs take home the last game.
Thank you, Vivid. It is time. We know, without a shadow of a doubt, your winners for the FNCS Grand Finals in Major number 3 here in North America are Agers and Khanada. He's pulled it off. The duo come together, and they make the impossible happen. This was their major, and for the first time, Khanada and Agers will hold that axe of champions high.
If you guys enjoy competitive and casual Fortnite content, be sure to subscribe for more.